Stop exactly where you are. Do not scroll. Do not look away. I need you to pause and take a deep breath, because what you have been waiting for, crying out for in the quietest, most desperate hours of the night, has finally crossed the spiritual threshold. Your miracle, the exact breakthrough you thought heaven had forgotten to deliver, is standing right in front of you, breathing the same air as you at this very second. This is not just another random piece of content on your screen. This is not entertainment. This is a divine, orchestrated interruption of your life's timeline. You might think it was a mere algorithm that brought you here today, a simple coincidence of timing, habits, and digital clicks. Let me be unequivocally clear, heaven does not deal in digital coincidences. Your guardian angel physically and spiritually intervened in your timeline today. They saw you growing dangerously tired. They saw the heavy, exhausted sighs you let out when no one else was around. They saw you on the verge of giving up. Because of that, they stepped in. They placed a spiritual blockade on your path today and commanded your absolute attention. Because the blessing that is about to manifest is too massive, too unprecedented, and too life-altering to be met with distraction. Archangel Michael himself has drawn a line in the sand and is standing guard over this exact moment, ensuring that your spirit is wide awake to receive this message. But I must issue a severe and urgent warning, and you must listen to me with your soul. You cannot skip this. Under no circumstances can you swipe away. If you choose to ignore this divine summons, you are consciously making a choice to walk back into the cold shadows of confusion. Heaven is currently holding the final, crucial key needed to unlock a blessing that already has your name written on it in divine ink. If you scroll past this warning, you will wander through the coming weeks with a heavy, unexplained sorrow. You will find yourself crying in the middle of the night for no apparent reason, simply because your spirit will know that it missed the exact instructions required to claim what was rightfully yours. Your miracle has arrived, but without the specific revelation hidden in this message, you will not know how to handle it. You will not recognize it. It will slip right through your fingers, and the crushing weight of that missed divine opportunity will leave you shattered. Your guardian angel loves you too much to let that happen. That is precisely why your chest feels a little tight right now. That is why your spirit feels a sudden, magnetic pull, a deep resonance echoing within your soul. Your inner being recognizes the frequency of heaven's truth. You have been handpicked, out of millions, to receive this final, urgent warning before the massive shift in your reality occurs. The spiritual gate is open, but it is closing fast. Breathe in deeply. Settle your mind. Stay right here with me. The veil is lifting, the darkness is breaking, and you are about to see exactly why heaven made you stop today. I know you. I know the quiet, exhausting battles you fight when the doors are closed, the lights are off, and no one else is around. I know the heavy, invisible armor you force yourself to put on every single morning just to face a world that often feels entirely oblivious to your silent suffering. You have been the strong one for so long. You have been the anchor for your family, the reliable listening ear for your friends, the one who gives, accommodates, and sacrifices until there is nothing left but an echoing emptiness in your own chest. You smile, you nod, and you consistently show up for everyone else. But in the deepest, most sacred chambers of your heart, you have been desperately screaming for someone to just show up for you. There is a profound exhaustion deep inside your bones that no amount of physical sleep can cure. It is a spiritual fatigue. I see the nights where the tears soaked your pillow. I see the vulnerable moments where you stared blankly at the ceiling and whispered into the suffocating darkness. Why is it taking so long? Have I done something wrong? Have you forgotten about me, God? You have carried the crushing weight of feeling completely invisible in crowded rooms, wondering if your prayers were just bouncing off the ceiling and evaporating into an uncaring void. You have felt like you are constantly running a marathon, where the finish line keeps magically moving further away, all while watching others effortlessly receive the very blessings you have been begging and working so hard for. The isolation has been crippling. You have questioned your worth, your life's path, and your own sanity, wondering if the promises you felt so deeply in your spirit were merely cruel illusions. But I need you to pause and listen to the frequency of heaven speaking directly to your soul right now. I have seen every single tear. Not a single drop went unnoticed by the divine realm. Your guardian angel has caught every sorrowful whisper, every breaking point, and every moment you collapsed in absolute surrender. You are not forgotten. You have never been forgotten, not even for a microsecond. The divine universe knows your name, knows your frequency, and has your specific energy signature permanently recorded in the books of destiny. I need you to understand a profound spiritual truth that will set you free today, right in this very moment. The delay was never a denial. The agonizing waiting period that almost broke your spirit was not a punishment for anything you did wrong. You need to release that heavy guilt immediately. Let it fall from your shoulders right now. You are not cursed. The delay was an absolute necessity for your spiritual protection. Think about this with your highest level of awareness. If heaven had handed you this massive, reality-shifting miracle 6 months ago, or a year ago, you simply were not ready to hold it. Your environment was still contaminated. You were surrounded by people who secretly meant you harm, individuals who masqueraded as friends but harbored deep, toxic jealousy. If the blessing had arrived then, your old, unhealed trauma would have instinctively forced you to give it away to people who did not deserve your light. You would have poured your divine manifestation into broken vessels. The miracle would have become a crushing burden that destroyed you, rather than a beautiful breakthrough that elevated you. Therefore, what you experienced as harsh rejection was actually divine redirection. What you felt as painful isolation was heaven actively clearing the room on your behalf. The pain, the heartbreak, the sudden, confusing loss of relationships that left you reeling, that was not a tragedy, that was divine pruning. Archangel Michael was meticulously severing the toxic, parasitic soul ties that were quietly draining your life force. Heaven had to aggressively break the old, unstable structures of your life, piece by piece, because the new foundation required for your impending miracle is so massive that it cannot possibly be built on the fragile ruins of your past trauma. Your pain was the ultimate preparation. The fire you walked through was not meant to burn you, it was meant to purify you. It burned away the people-pleasing tendencies, the paralyzing self-doubt, and the deeply ingrained habit of settling for less than you truly deserve. Every time you were hurt, a thick layer of illusion was stripped away. Every time you felt abandoned, you were being forced to discover the indestructible, divine power that resides solely within you. Your tears were not signs of weakness or failure. In the spiritual realm, your tears were the divine water required to soften the hardened soil of your destiny, preparing it for the explosive harvest of the seeds you have been faithfully planting for years. You have survived the breaking, you have endured the crushing, you have passed the spiritual endurance test that shatters ordinary souls. Your heart, though bruised, remains soft. Your spirit, though battered, remains pure. And because of this profound resilience, heaven is looking at you right now with immense, overwhelming pride. The universe is wrapping its warm arms around your weary soul, whispering, "Well done, my good and faithful child." The hardest part is officially over. Let that sink in. Let the peace of that truth calm your nervous system. You are safe now, and the preparation is finally complete. Now that you understand your pain was a sacred preparation, I need to pull back the spiritual veil on something even deeper. Something insidious has been operating just outside the periphery of your physical vision. For years, you have blamed yourself for the constant roadblocks. You internalized the failures. You thought you were just plagued by a chronic streak of bad luck, or worse, you convinced yourself that you were simply not smart enough, capable enough, or worthy enough to achieve the life you dreamed of. I command you to shatter that lie right now. It was never bad luck. It was never a lack of capability on your part. What you have been experiencing is a highly coordinated, invisible spiritual resistance. There has been a very real, unseen warfare taking place in the atmosphere around your life. Spirits of delay, agonizing confusion, and sudden emotional sabotage have actively tried to derail your timeline. Have you ever noticed how right when you were about to make a breakthrough, right when you finally felt a spark of hope or motivation, a sudden wave of inexplicable anxiety would crash over you? Or a massive, unexpected crisis would emerge out of nowhere to drain your finances, your energy, or your peace of mind? That was not a coincidence. That was a targeted attack. But you must ask yourself, why? Why you? Why did you have to face so much unnatural opposition? Listen to me with your entire spirit, because this revelation will change how you see yourself forever. Thieves do not break into empty houses. The forces of darkness do not waste their energy and ammunition on souls that carry no light. They targeted you because they were terrified of you. They saw the massive, magnificent magnitude of your destiny long before you ever fully comprehended it. They recognized your spiritual frequency. They knew that if you ever woke up, if you ever realized how truly powerful you are, you would not only change your own life, but you would shatter generational curses and elevate everyone around you. You are a threat to the darkness, a radiant lighthouse in a world that desperately wants to keep people asleep. To stop you, the enemy deployed subtle, invisible traps. They sent energy vampires into your life, people cloaked as friends, lovers, or colleagues, whose sole unconscious mission was to siphon your light, keep you distracted, and make you doubt your own sanity. They kept you trapped in suffocating environments that demanded your loyalty, but never nourished your soul. But here is the breathtaking truth of your divine protection. Even when you were completely blind to the attacks, you were never, ever left undefended. While you were physically exhausted, sleeping fitfully through those anxiety-ridden nights, an epic spiritual battle was raging on your behalf. When you were too weak to fight, when you were too tired to even form the words to pray, Archangel Michael stepped onto the battlefield for you, with an impenetrable shield and a blazing sword of divine truth. He has been aggressively fighting back the forces that tried to bury you. He stood at the foot of your bed and declared, "Do not touch them. They are mine. They are chosen." Every single time a door violently slammed in your face, it was Archangel Michael putting his foot against it, preventing you from walking into a trap disguised as an opportunity. Every time a relationship suddenly and painfully fell apart, leaving you confused and heartbroken, it was heaven performing a divine eviction. The universe was forcibly removing individuals who were secretly plotting your downfall, or who simply did not have the spiritual capacity to travel with you to your next altitude. You survived 100% of the things that were sent to absolutely destroy you. The enemy tried to drain you, delay you, and depress you. But look at you now. You are still breathing. You are still listening. You are still standing. The dark forces have officially exhausted their arsenal against you, and they have failed. The spiritual blockade has been broken by heaven's armies. The heavy, invisible chains that were wrapped tightly around your progress have been shattered into a million pieces. The path before you has been fiercely cleared, swept clean by angelic forces, and paved with golden light, preparing you for the ultimate revelation of exactly who you are about to become. Now, step closer, settle your spirit, and listen to the sound of my voice with the deepest part of your soul, because what I am about to reveal to you is the absolute core of why you were brought to this message today. This is the great unveiling, the truth that heaven has been protecting until you were spiritually mature enough to hear it without breaking. For years, you have carried an agonizing weight on your shoulders. You have felt a deep, inexplicable sadness, an underlying hum of anxiety, and a relentless pressure to survive that seemed entirely disproportionate to the events of your actual life. You thought this was your own personal burden. You thought this heavy, suffocating feeling was simply a flaw in your character, a weakness in your mind, or the tragic result of your own past mistakes. I am here to tell you, on behalf of the divine realm, that you have been profoundly mistaken. The heavy, paralyzing burdens you have been carrying for so long did not start with you. The cycle of scarcity that made you terrified to spend a dime. The cycle of abandonment that made you cling to people who did not value you. The cycle of voicelessness that made you swallow your truth to keep the peace. These were not your original sins. These were inherited chains. You have been unconsciously carrying the accumulated generational trauma, the unresolved grief, and the broken dreams of the ancestors who came before you. You have been fighting a war that began decades, perhaps centuries, before you even took your first breath on this earth. Look at your family tree. Look at the patterns of heartbreak, the settling for less, the chronic struggles with poverty, addiction, or loveless marriages that have echoed through your bloodline. Your ancestors survived, but they were trapped in a loop of suffering, passing down their unhealed wounds from one generation to the next, like a dark, invisible inheritance. But then, the universe looked down the timeline of your lineage. The divine realm knew that this tragic loop could not continue forever. Heaven needed a vessel. The universe needed a soul with a heart big enough, a spirit resilient enough, and a light bright enough to absorb that darkness and finally transmute it into gold. And out of everyone in your bloodline, past and present, the divine chose you. You are the chosen one. You are the cycle breaker. You are the energetic barricade where the generational trauma permanently stops. Heaven selected you to be the one who finally stands up in the spiritual realm and declares, "It ends with me." This is exactly why your life has felt so intensely difficult. This is why you have always felt like the black sheep of your family, the outcast, the one who saw the world differently, the one who could never just blindly follow the herd. You were never meant to fit in, because you were explicitly designed to break out. The intense spiritual resistance you faced wasn't just the enemy trying to stop your personal success. It was the darkness fighting desperately to keep your entire bloodline enslaved. When you were crying those agonizing tears, you were literally crying out the suppressed grief of generations. When you were fighting through that crippling depression, you were battling the ancestral demons that had kept your family playing small for decades. But here is the breathtaking miracle of your existence. Because you did not give up, because you kept seeking the light, even when you were drowning in the dark, you have won. The generational curse is officially broken. The chains have been snapped. And because you were willing to carry the heaviest burden, heaven has decreed that you will now receive the greatest reward. Your miracle is not just a personal blessing, it is a cosmic payout. It is the divine compensation for every tear you and your ancestors ever shed. When you rise, your entire lineage rises with you. You are retroactively healing your past, and you are radically clearing the path for your future. The children that come after you, the people who look up to you, they will never have to fight the demons you fought because you defeated them. You have completely changed the trajectory of your bloodline forever. Therefore, heaven is issuing a direct command to your spirit right now. It is time to take off the cloak of the victim. You can no longer identify with your pain. You can no longer introduce yourself by your traumas. your failures, or the ways you have been wronged. That exhausted, depleted, surviving version of you has served its purpose, but that version cannot enter the promised land that stands before you. The miracle waiting outside your door is too grand, too magnificent, and too pure to be handled by someone who still thinks of themselves as small and unworthy. You must step out of the shadows of survival mode and step onto the throne of your sovereignty. You are no longer the wounded bird. You are the phoenix rising with wings of absolute fire. You are a divine co-creator, a master of your reality, a chosen warrior of light. Stand up tall, pull your shoulders back, breathe in the frequency of absolute victory. The universe is placing a spiritual crown upon your head today. Do you feel the weight of it? Do you feel the surge of divine authority returning to your veins? Let the realization wash over you. You are powerful beyond human comprehension. You are entirely worthy of the massive, unapologetic abundance that is rushing toward you. You are not a mistake. You are the ultimate master plan. Embrace your true identity right now, because the universe is about to respond to the new sovereign energy you are radiating. The old you is dead. The divine you has just awakened. And nothing in this world, or the next, will ever be the same. Because your spiritual identity has just been radically upgraded, the physical world around you must now aggressively reorganize itself to match your new frequency. The spiritual realm has shifted. Therefore, the physical realm has absolutely no choice but to bend, mold, and align to your new sovereign state. The miracle is no longer just a concept floating in the heavens, it is plummeting toward your reality right now. To ensure you do not miss it, Archangel Michael has instructed me to give you the exact, undeniable signs that will manifest in your life over the next 24 to 48 hours. Pay close, meticulous attention to everything that happens from the moment this message ends. The first sign, the physical release. Within the next few hours, you are going to experience a sudden, inexplicable physical sensation. The chronic tension you have been carrying in your neck, your shoulders, and your jaw, the physical manifestation of your survival mode, will suddenly dissolve. You will take a deep breath, and for the first time in months, or perhaps years, it will feel like your lungs can fully expand. You will feel a bizarre, comforting warmth spreading through your chest, followed by a profound, tear-inducing sense of peace. Do not brush this off as a random mood swing. This is the literal, physiological sensation of the generational weight permanently leaving your body. It is the divine signature of your healing. The second sign, the sudden purge. Prepare yourself, because the universe is about to perform a swift and unapologetic eviction of toxic energy from your life. Within the coming days, a specific person or a confusing situation will suddenly remove itself from your path. Someone who has been secretly harboring jealousy, hidden agendas, or inconsistent energy will suddenly act out of character, revealing their absolute truth. You might receive a strange text message, an abrupt cancellation, or experience a bizarre interaction that makes their true intentions undeniably clear. When this happens, do not mourn the loss. Do not chase them. Do not ask for closure. Their sudden departure is not a rejection. It is Archangel Michael forcefully removing a landmine from your path right before your blessing arrives. Heaven is literally refusing to let you carry a parasite into your promised land. The third sign, the unexpected knock, an opportunity, a sudden financial shift, or a direct answer to a very specific prayer you whispered in secret, is going to arrive out of nowhere. It will not come with a loud, chaotic parade. It will come softly, quietly, like a gentle knock on the door of your life. It might be an email, a phone call, or a sudden inspiration that leads you to exactly where you need to be. It will be so precise, so incredibly tailored to your specific needs, that you will instantly know it could only have been orchestrated by the divine. the awakening of the divine intuition. As these signs unfold, you will notice a terrifyingly beautiful change within yourself. Your intuition is being hyperactivated. The spiritual fog that used to make you second-guess every decision has been entirely burned away. Moving forward, you will be able to smell a lie before a person even finishes their sentence. You will walk into a room and instantly read the energetic frequency of everyone in it. You must not ignore this new superpower. Your gut feeling is no longer just a physical response. It is a flawless divine GPS directly connected to the throne of heaven. If a room feels wrong, leave it immediately. If a deal feels off, drop it without hesitation. If your spirit feels drawn to a new path, run down it with absolute faith. You no longer need to seek outside validation. The ultimate truth now lives inside your own chest. The final, urgent warning, but listen to me carefully, because this is where the ultimate test lies. As this massive blessing begins to materialize, the old, traumatized version of you will try to resurrect itself. You will hear a familiar whisper of doubt asking, "Is this too good to be true? When is the other shoe going to drop? Do I really deserve this?" You must silence that voice instantly. That is self-sabotage trying to hijack your miracle. You cannot pour new, divine wine into old, fearful wineskins. If you approach this new era with the vibration of fear, you will literally block the manifestation. You must step into this new reality expecting the good. You must normalize the abundance. Do not shrink back when the universe hands you the crown. Claim it. Own it. Walk into this new chapter with the fierce, unapologetic confidence of someone who knows exactly who they are and exactly who is backing them. The universe has done its part. The signs are set in motion. Now, it is entirely up to you to keep the door wide open. We have reached the absolute tipping point of this divine transmission. The spiritual realm has delivered the revelation, the angelic forces have cleared your path, and the universe has laid the miracle right at your feet. But I need you to understand a foundational, unbreakable law of cosmic manifestation. Heaven requires earthly participation. A blessing cannot fully anchor into your physical reality until you take a definitive physical action to claim it. Faith without action is merely a fleeting wish, and heaven does not deal in wishes. Heaven deals in covenants. Right now, in this exact moment, you are standing at the threshold of your new era, and you must seal this frequency. You must close the spiritual contract. This is no longer about passively watching a video. This is about energetically aligning yourself with the massive manifestation that is rightfully yours. First, I need you to go to the comments right now and leave your spiritual signature. When you type your declaration, you are not just leaving random words on a glowing screen. You are taking a powerful thought from the unseen realm and forcefully materializing it into the physical world. You are publicly decreeing your readiness to the universe. I want you to type, "I am the chosen one, and I claim my miracle now." Or type, "The dark cycle ends with me, and my new era begins today." As your fingers hit the keys, visualize the heavy, invisible chains of your past snapping into pieces. Feel the vibration of those exact words traveling up to the throne of heaven, permanently registering your soul as fully awakened and ready to receive. Do not stay silent. Silence is exactly what kept you trapped in the old cycle of suffering. Your voice is your ultimate power. Use it right now to command your blessing into existence. Next, you must seal this energetic exchange. The universe operates on the flawless law of reciprocity. When you hit the like button on this message, you are doing something far more profound than simply showing digital appreciation. You are signaling to the divine algorithm of the cosmos that you are a vibrational match for this ultimate truth. You are saying, "Yes, heaven, I completely agree with this frequency. Multiply this radiant light in my life. It is a micro-action of immense spiritual consequence. It officially stamps your energetic approval on the prophecy that has just been spoken over your life. But your calling goes even deeper than your own personal healing. Remember the core revelation. You are a cycle breaker and a beacon of blinding light. Your miracle is specifically meant to overflow. Right now, there is someone in your life, or perhaps someone you haven't spoken to in months, who is sitting in the exact same paralyzing darkness you just emerged from. They are crying those same bitter tears, fighting those same invisible demons, and begging the universe for a sign. You are being called to be their sign. When you click share and send this message to them, you are no longer just a passive receiver of the miracle. You become the divine vessel for it. You become the extended hand of Archangel Michael, reaching into their violent storm to pull them out. Heaven actively monitors your generosity, and when you selflessly share the light, the universe exponentially multiplies the light shining down upon your own path. Send this to the person your intuition is actively pushing into your mind right this second. Do not hesitate. You have no idea how desperately they need this exact rescue rope today. Finally, you must permanently secure your connection to this divine frequency. The enemy's greatest trick is distraction, making you feel awake and powerful today, only to violently pull you back into the fog tomorrow. Do not let that happen. When you subscribe to this channel, you are not just following a page, you are actively constructing a spiritual antenna. You are consciously positioning yourself under an open heaven. You are making a binding decree that says, I will not go back to sleep. I am ready for the next instruction, the next prophetic warning, and the next level of my ascension. There are more spiritual gates about to open, and more secrets that Archangel Michael is preparing to unveil to you in the coming weeks. By securing your place here, you ensure that you will never miss a divine download, and you will never have to walk blindly into a spiritual battle ever again. Do it now. Take these actions not as a passive viewer, but as a sovereign creator sealing a sacred pact with the universe. The contract is drawn, the divine ink is ready. Sign your name in the spirit, and let the massive manifestation begin. Close your eyes for just a profound moment, my beautifully resilient one. As this sacred transmission slowly draws to its completion, I want you to physically feel the deep, undeniable stillness that is now settling over the atmosphere around you. The chaotic, frantic energy of your past survival seasons is dissolving, melting away into a vast, infinite ocean of quiet. Breathe it in deeply. Fill your lungs with it. Hold it in your chest, and let it out slowly. This is the pure, uncorrupted air of your new beginning. I now speak a sovereign, eternal blessing directly over your life. May a permanent, impenetrable shield of golden, radiant light completely encompass your mind, your physical body, your home, and your loved ones. May the exhausting burdens that have bruised your weary shoulders for so many years be entirely washed away by the gentle, purifying waters of divine grace. From this very second forward, may your footsteps feel unbelievably light. May your path be guided not by the lingering echoes of past fears, but by an unwavering, quiet confidence that you are infinitely held, cherished, and directed by the highest forces of the universe. Tonight, when the world quiets down and you finally lay your head upon your pillow, I want you to experience a depth of rest that you have not known since you were a child. You do not need to keep one eye open anymore. You do not need to lie awake in the dark, mentally rehearsing your defenses for battles that have already been decisively won. Archangel Michael stands at the four corners of your life, his massive wings stretched wide, forming an absolute, unbreakable fortress of peace around your resting spirit. The invisible war that raged around you is officially over. You can finally let your guard down. You are utterly, unconditionally safe. Never forget the magnificent truth that has been revealed to you today. You are a breathtaking masterpiece of heaven. You are the chosen cycle breaker, the bearer of the new dawn, the one whose very existence shifts the trajectory of generations. Do not ever let the harshness of this temporary world convince you to dim your blinding light again. Walk into your tomorrow with your head held exceptionally high, with a soft smile on your face, possessing the absolute certainty that the universe is aggressively, flawlessly conspiring in your favor. Our time together in this specific sacred space is softly fading into silence, but understand that this is by no means a final goodbye. It is merely a gentle, beautiful pause between the chapters of your spiritual ascension. Go now, and live unapologetically in the breathtaking reality of your miracle. Rest gracefully in the supreme comfort of your newly claimed sovereignty. And when the spiritual winds shift once more, when your soul is fully recharged and you are ready to step into your next level of divine elevation, heaven will orchestrate the perfect moment for our paths to cross again. Until that divinely appointed time, walk in unshakable peace, stay fiercely protected, and remember with every beat of your heart, you are deeply, endlessly, and eternally loved.